Hello, Keith, and welcome to another episode of Whip Chat. Here to talk about whips and all kinds of whip-related things, and just hang out and talk about the things that we love. We have, there's been a lot going on, but yet not as much as we would like also. Probably one of the biggest things happening recently that I was just looking at is that Indy 5 is getting closer. And of course, Indy being the reason that so many people got into whip cracking at the very first.
Yep.
Why they?
That's what got me.
Because that's what got you. It was certainly one of the things that got me interested early on. It was one of several things. But today I'm even sporting the Indy shirt, Indy Han Solo. I think it's called the
crossover.
Adventurers.
I love it. I love a good mashup.
Right. Like behind you, you've got the Star Wars and Indy even going right there.
The two driving forces in my life, Indy and Star Wars, and it's always going on in my head.
Exactly. So what have you seen? What is it you're excited about with Indy, other than just the fact that there is a new Indy coming?
Well, they've been very tight-lipped about, any details at all. The things that have been out there, I saw some stuff where it looked like Harrison Ford had the little dots on his face to where it looks like they're going to do some de-aging technology.
Right.
Kind of like they've done with The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett with Luke Skywalker.
Right.
So I don't know. I've heard rumor, who knows, if they're going to do a time travel thing or just maybe some flashback episode. I don't know. Who knows what they're going to do. But I do think they're going to do some de-aging stuff with Harrison Ford. So I think that is very interesting because where they are with that technology right now is insane.
What they did with Luke Skywalker was very impressive.
Right. And the new one in the Book of Boba Fett, he looks just dead on. It's pretty amazing. Within a few more years, I don't think you'll be able to tell the difference between a live actor and that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, my wife and I were talking. Did they find an actor that looks like the young? I mean, we were very surprised in Book of Boba Fett for sure.
Right.
So the dots on his face, there were some leaked pictures of that. So that indicates they're going to do some sort of CG, certainly with him. Whether it will be for a particular scene, they need a young Indiana Jones or a flashback, or if it's just the whole time, they're like, he just looks too old for the whole thing. We need to make him 5 years younger for the. I don't know.
Who knows? It could be some flashback episodes of moments of when he was World War II time frame, or I don't know what.
Sure. But that is Hollywood. If anybody out there has a inside scoop, let us know for sure.
I'm very interested in the whip.
Right.
I got a little inside scoop that everyone's been wondering who's made the whips, and apparently they've come from the David Morgan's company.
Awesome. So that go back to the source,
original.
Right? The
I don't know if they're new ones or if they're using some vintage ones from back in the day. Don't know, but that's what the pictures look like. They definitely look like Morgan's. So who knows?
Right. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see. And of course, I think the latest release date is end of July 22 this year. You think we'll make it?
This year or next year? I don't even know. I've lost track of it. They keep changing it.
I don't know.
I think it was supposed to come out like 5 years ago. I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah. We're all going to need de-aging by the time it comes out.
No, the wrinkles just add wisdom, right?
Yeah.
No, I saw a story today. Oliver, I'm going to say his last name wrong. Richards. He's goes by the Dutch Giant on Instagram. He posted that he was just about finished filming his portion of his character in Indy 5.
Oh.
So it's exciting to see what he's going to be. He's if you're not familiar with him, I wasn't, but he is 7'2",
wow.
A massive bodybuilder.
Wow.
So yeah, check him out. They go. Apparently, he's going to be in the new Indy.
Huh.
So
or if he's like the ultimate bad guy, or one way is who knows?
They're going to be the new propeller boxer.
Yeah. Indy can take him.
Indy can take him. Just need a a longer whip maybe for someone that big.
He might. For a 7'2" guy, he might need some. Get to wrap that around a few times.
Right. Oh, sheesh. But Indy always gets it done.
Always.
So I'm hoping that there will be plenty of whip action, obviously, in the new movie. As much as there is, I always wish there's more.
Right.
And I mean, maybe too much would be a turnoff for an average person, but can't have too much for me.
I thought they got it just right in Raiders, the amount of whip stuff and the different variety of things. He basically showed that you can use a whip for so many things. It's basically like the ultimate MacGyver tool, you know?
Right.
It's a weapon. You can climb with it. You can all this stuff. You can drag behind a truck.
Right.
Of course, we all need this.
Well, of course. My 8-year-old self definitely needed one. So.
Oh yeah. My 10-year-old self was obsessed with one. So yeah.
Exactly. It goes back.
Yeah. It never goes away.
It hasn't for us.
It just gets worse.
Nope. There is no cure.
No. Got the whip fever, man.
The whip fever. Speaking of the whip fever, you've been making a bunch of whip videos.
I have.
You've definitely got the fever.
Well, I think I mentioned in the last time we did one of these, inspiration comes in spurts. It's not always there, but it's always a little bit there. In the last few months, it was like the floodgates kind of opened up, and I just got very excited, and I started, I just hit a real creative spurt.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, when I started my own YouTube channel, I didn't want to do instructional videos on things that have already been done, because if somebody wants to know how to do this or that, I can just send them a really good video that somebody else has already made.
Right.
But what happened was, when the floodgates of creativity kind of opened up, I started coming up with some new combinations, new cracks, things like that I'd never seen before. So I just put a name on them and put them on my own channel, and just started doing that. So the only time I want to do instructional things is if it's something original. So that's what I've been doing. I've done a few of those, and I've got some more stuff coming. And I've got
tell me about your last couple. You said you've got some original stuff. I mean, combos and stuff.
Yeah, I was out messing around not too long ago, and I came up with a 5-crack combination called the Cross of Coronado.
It's connection, but yes.
Right. Yeah, and you helped me come up with the title. You helped me.
Right. Yeah, we went back and forth a bit.
Yeah, I kind of went back and forth on the title, and it's so funny when the right thing comes into your head. You're like, why didn't I think of that before?
Right.
Right.
And it's got a four corners feel to it, the way that it's front and back and left and right. So tell me a little bit about it for those that haven't seen it.
I was out practicing the four corners and just doing a lot of things on the horizontal plane overhead. I got it in my head that I wanted to do a new crack pattern that was all overhead and all in the horizontal plane.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's kind of hard. So I want to, and that particular day I was feeling ambitious. I was like, I want to do something original that does that. So I was just outside. It was a great, beautiful day, and I just kept doing it, and it just was flowing. And all of a sudden I came up with a 5-crack pattern, and it made, the reason I call it the Cross Coronado is that it makes a cross in the sky. If you're looking straight up, you got both beams going both ways. So it really does a four corners kind of a thing, but it's the first 3 moves is the same as the four corners. And then the other 2 is a fast figure 8, all in the horizontal plane, all overhead. I think it's a lot of fun. I have not done a breakdown video of it yet. I just put the combo out there to kind of have people look at it and see what they thought. And then I have had a lot of people message me and say, hey, do a breakdown. Like I will. Right. We've had a little bit of winter coming through here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's not a short 2-minute video. That's going to be a little bit longer. So I need to have some better weather before I can do it.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't already, everybody that's watching, if you don't subscribe to Bullwhip Fun with Keith and Princess Stephanie, go and subscribe, and you can be one of the first to see the breakdown when it's released. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, the last time I looked, just the other day, I'm $1.99 on my videos. So my next video will be my 200th video.
Wow.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting. So yeah, whatever the one I put up next will be big 200.
All so right.
Yeah.
That might be a good one. You've actually had a couple good ones though here recently. Some training videos and so forth.
I've done a few things. Basically what happened was like last year, I kept getting, people would message me, hey, what am I doing wrong on this? I'm like, well, you're not doing the grip right. If you'll just change your grip, you'll feel so much better. You'll have so much more control. So I did a video on the Bullwhip Grip. That was kind of and then I did one about, I just had people all the time asking me, hey, how do I, on nylon whips, how do I maintain this fall? How do I add a cracker? This kind of thing. So I just got tired of explaining it. So I just made a video. So I really didn't want to do the whole instructional video thing because there's so much out there, but I just kept getting the same questions. So that's why I was like, I'm just going to put a few instructional videos together.
Sure.
And then, so I did those. And then I started on the, anytime I come up with something original, you kind of want to put it out there because the way I see this is kind of my art, artist that paints wants people to see his art. So you just want to get it out there, and if hopefully people like it, people enjoy it, and hopefully they're out doing it. Anytime I see something new and I'm like, oh, I get inspired and I just want to go out and try it. So that I'm just trying to get people excited to go out and pick up a whip and go try some new techniques.
Awesome. And you have certainly inspired quite a few especially with your targeting videos that they're always very impressive. You had posted one the other day. You did a toss, caught it, and then did a cut with it. It was like, wait a minute, hold on, rewind.
That was my Valentine's Day video.
Yeah, that's right.
I like doing videos that are, for certain holidays and things like that. Like last year I did a St. Patrick's Day one, and this year I did a Valentine's Day one, stuff like that. I just think it's fun. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. Everybody go check that out. That's really good. But in that, in those videos though, I noticed there was a new addition to the whip family over at the Smith residence. Did you get a new whip?
Oh, that member of the family.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Well, yeah.
I had to say, I need to go talk to my wife. Hang on.
Well, I've got a few new ones lately. Wow. I don't think I have put out, I've got a few videos that I'm working on. I've got this new 9-footer from Blake Bruning, Trinity Whip Company. Wow. You got to look at this thing. It's a 9-foot target whip. There we go.
Oh, look at it.
Oh, baby. 9-foot target whip. It's got a 12-inch handle with fancy plating, and it is a beauty. It's in whiskey, which I love. It's got brandy knots. So it's basically the same color scheme as the Crystal Skull Whip.
Right,
but
right.
It's, of course, I've got to have my long handle for my targeting, and it is a beaut. And I've got some videos that are getting ready to come out. I think will excite. If people like fast-moving target videos that are fun, I think they're really going to like that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's it's a beautiful whip, and it obviously does the job for you. Certainly.
Blake. Blake is a true artist, and he will not stop until he feels like it's perfect.
Right.
And on that one, he kept, he would take a ride, and I would always tell him, don't rush. Take your time. Wait until you're in the perfect mood.
Right.
Don't rush this thing. And he didn't. He really took his time, did it great. He would send me a thing like, hey, I'm thinking about this different kind of handle pattern. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
I don't care. Just take your time. And
I'm sure as a whip maker,
wow.
That's nice to do too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of whip makers that listen to these and watch these videos as well. And it's always nice to know that as an artist that's making the whip, you can express yourself and make it how it's going to be the best whip and not have as many specs to hit. Although you did want it to be 9 foot. You did want it to have that 12-inch handle and some basics like that.
What I have found with all artists of any type, but especially whip makers. Okay. Mm-hmm. And this is what I've done with Tori Fisher and different people that I've had make whips for me. The best thing to do when you've got someone that's very artistic, like a Blake or a Torrance or somebody like that, mm-hmm. you give them the general specifics. Hey, I want this length with this length of handle in this color. And then you say, surprise me. And you let the artist be the artist, and you will get their best work.
Yeah.
You'll get the best out of them. I don't nitpick. Any little, somebody be like, hey, I want to do this. I'm like, don't even tell me. Just do it. Just let the art flow through you like the force.
That everybody take that to heart. If you're going to be ordering a whip from a whip maker, that certainly is the way to go about to get the best whip that you could. That'll be the way to go about.
Some people get so specific, like you got to have this many chevrons on an Indy and this and that, and I'm just.
It depends on your purpose. If you're wanting,
if you're going for just the cosplay, it's got to be screen accurate, and I totally get it. I'm not into that. I just want a good functioning whip.
Right.
For me, it's all about the internals, the transition. I just want to have the thing be super accurate so I can hit stuff with it and blow stuff up.
Just one thing's to blow.
Nice. I want it to look nice, but man, really, it's just about functionality with me. That's all I care about.
I love it. Is there any other ones you want to show off? Or is that all for today? I know there's other ones.
I do have one more waiting to be seen. And I've already put out a couple of short videos on this, just kind of about playing with it because I just got it. And the day I got it, we had a snowstorm coming. So I had to go out and do some cracking really fast, just kind of get the feel for it before the snow hit, because there was like a week and a half where I couldn't go out because it was just nasty outside. But I had the opportunity to get a brand new 6-foot Aussie bullwhip in brandy with a natural tan knot by none other than Joe Strain.
What? Brand new? Wow.
Brand new. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
That's gorgeous.
Behold this transition. Behold.
Let me see. Whoa.
Right? Oh my God. It's insane.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, it's a beauty. Wow. And of course, got the long handle. Just look at this knot.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Right?
Wow.
It's just, the quality is just unbelievable. Right out of the box. I hadn't even changed and put one of my crackers on it yet. It was just, the cracker eats in. I'm out there hitting stuff just left and right. It was just fantastic. One of the first things I do is put on one of my crackers just because I'm, preferential to them. But wow, that thing right out of the box. It was just, some of the videos, the few videos I put out, that was about 10 minutes after I got the thing out of the box. It was,
wow.
I hadn't even hardly worked with it yet. And it was just, wow.
I think one of them, you just kind of roll it back. And when you're just kind of straightening it out, it cracks.
Yeah.
It's like, it's on its own.
Yeah. One of your comments, it feels like it's alive. And it wants to crack.
And I think that really shows just the detail on getting the taper and the energy conservation done just so perfectly. And it was such not just an artist, but a craftsman.
Yeah, there's something about the weight of it. I've tried to describe it, and just the weight from the heel knot to the handle all the way through the thong, it is just flawless. And it really does want to crack. And you don't have to put any effort into it at all. It's really amazing, So
I'm about to try that whip one of these days.
Yeah, yes, you will. So those are my latest 2 acquisitions, and man, I'm so happy with both of them. I've kind of gotten more into the shorter whips lately. I'm always going to like my longer ones for the targeting and stuff, but I've really, since about this last year or so, I really started getting into more of the sport cracking end of it, not just doing the targeting.
Right.
I don't do a lot of videos on that stuff because I've just been working on it. But I've got some getting ready to come out that kind of showcase more of the sport crack stuff and not just the targeting part. So I'm kind of moving more into that angle. And then anytime I come up with a new combo, I'll make a video on that. But I've also had a request or 2 to do. I've got a short video about like an introduction to targeting, kind of my method of targeting. And I've had some requests that people want me to go more in depth and do like more detail on the process of targeting and just things I didn't go into before. So I'm definitely going to do that when the weather improves. I think that was a great idea. So I'm definitely going to do that. So that's kind of on the horizon. And
that'd be great.
In the next month or so, the weather will start getting better. I'll be able to go out and do that.
That'd be good. I'd love to see those as well. You could even add in there a section or a whole video on different types of stands, different ways that you hold, because you have quite a few that I've seen. Some are hanging, some are on an individual stand. You clip some to the edge of the table.
Right.
Cards or Jar Jar Binks or whatever. Lots of different ways of holding up the target there.
Wherever I
Candles.
Go, yeah, every store I ever go to, I always look around and I'm thinking, what can I blow up in here? What can I take a whip to? Or what can I set this on? I mean, that's just the way my brain works. Like everywhere I go, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. We'll be in Hobby Lobby, or we'll be anywhere that my wife wants to go for her crafting. I'll be looking and I'll see something. I'm like, oh, I can use that. That's where I get my stuff. I'm out and I'm thinking, what can I, multitask with this?
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, I do have a lot of different things I like to do. And I think the swinging, moving targets are my favorite just because they're fun and they're, I like movement, and then it just kind of exciting to do a moving target like that.
I mean, that one really lends to the slow-mo effect that you add on a lot of the videos too. It's hard to see on a moving thing, a fast-moving whip, and if you weren't really able to see what was there beforehand, it's hard to see the change. But then when it's in slow motion, you're like, oh my goodness.
Right.
Two tiny things intersected right at the right moment. That's amazing.
Yeah, at the speed of sound. It's just, right. I mean, whips, right? I mean, you can control a sonic boom, man. It's just the coolest thing ever.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
I actually got a couple of new whips myself. New to me. Actually, I was talking with Kat Fimple, and she had a couple of whips that she was moving on. These are performance hybrids made by Dakota Winrich from the Kitty Whips. So I had never used one before from Dakota. So they are very, very soft, very, very light. They weigh like half of anything that I have.
Right.
And it's just nice to see a spectrum. Like I have my Joe Strain that I use as well. And it's a beautiful whip as well.
Oh, that's a beauty.
But the difference is both of these together are still only maybe a quarter of the weight of this one. But yeah, they crack very differently, obviously. But yeah, it's fun to try out different ones and different length handles and different weights and all that.
Not only is it fun, I think that will make you a much better whip cracker for anybody to use all kinds of different whips, different lengths, different handles, different weight, everything. I think it's great to go out and use a 4-footer and then go out and use a 10-footer.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when you're dealing with targeting, because the more you use different lengths, I think it's a eye-brain combination where eventually you get to where you can just gauge distance. You don't have to actually go out and like measure it. You can just visually see how far you need to be for a target. I think that just kind of naturally comes with time, just from using different lengths of whip. And I just think that's so cool that you're doing that. What do you think of those Kitties? Are they? Have you tried them out yet? Much?
Yes, I have tried them out. I spent a half hour with them or something. I haven't spent a ton of time. They're shorter, I think, than anything. I think they're 4 foot. Oh. So they're shorter than anything else I have. So they're very, very fast. But it's fun to just like do volleys with both of them at once. Oh, it sounds really cool. Because they're so much lighter, I have to be more careful with when I'm doing a volley with a leather whip. I don't have to be really get this flowy feel. It kind of just cracks if I get it over there. These I have to be a little more careful with my my form, and so yeah, they're different. They're just different. They feel more like stock whips just because of the soft transition area. But yeah, it makes sense from what the stuff that she makes for the she learned from Adam Winrich, who does a lot of that side of sort of cracking, and he does long performance shows. So you want something that's lighter for those sort of things.
Oh yeah, you can wear out your arms pretty fast with.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially with like an Indy whip, you got this nail spike that in the handle and all. It's a lot of weight that you're throwing around over time.
Right.
So yeah, it's I don't know. It's good to feel the difference and just have different ones of a spectrum of different types of whips and learn about them and get used to different ones. But yeah, it's like even compared to the performance hybrids that I make, they are significantly different. So yeah, I enjoy.
How long are the handles on those, the new ones? You know?
I think they're 16.
16, okay.
Yeah, those are
slick. I like those colors.
Yeah, they are purple, black, and fluorescent green here.
Nice.
And then, of course, the black painted handle as well. It's a little, I need to touch it up just a touch there, but yeah, it looks nice.
Those should show up nicely on video.
Yeah, and they've got a twisted, come down to a 2-point fall hitch with a twist. And yeah, with a tapered fall. So it's double thickness here and single thickness down here. So yeah, they're very nice. So good job, Dakota. And thank you again, Kat, for that. So
yeah, one of the interesting things about going between leather and nylon, and I experienced this just the other day. I've been using that new Joe Strain whip a lot.
Yeah.
And then I switched and went back to a nylon to practice something else. And when you've been using a medium heavy leather whip like all day, and then you switch to a nylon.
Oh no.
It is the strangest feeling.
I bet.
Yeah, you have to adjust everything again. You know, you have to adjust how you crack and the speed and all that. But like I said, I think it's a great thing for any whip cracker to do that, to make yourself do different stuff. I think overall it'll just make you better, so you can pick up basically any whip at any time and be able to use it.
So I've heard quite a few people ask me about when they're wanting to buy a whip, should I get a leather whip or should I get a nylon whip, or what's the differences? What do you feel like, aside from just the weight? I mean, you're going back and forth. That is a major factor.
Huge, yeah.
What else do you think really is those differentiating factors between leather and nylon? How do you choose? How should someone choose?
There's a lot, and I get this question a lot. People contact me from all over the world, which I love, when they just chime in, hey, what do I need? I like this. What do I need to do? And Justin from Canada Whips, I think I saw a response that he gave to somebody on Facebook. I used to go on this long diatribe, and his was way better. And Justin just said, show me a video of somebody cracking. Send me the video and I'll tell you what kind of whip you need. Right?
Wow, that's a great idea.
Genius.
Right.
I was writing a manifesto. He was like, just send me a video of stuff you like and I'll tell you what kind of whip he's using and get that. I'm like, come on, why didn't I think of that? But anyway, I think that's huge. So I kind of stole that. And whenever somebody asks me now, I'm just saying, hey, show me a video. What do you want to do with the whip? You know, yeah. So show me what you want to do. And then also tell me where you live. Because if you live in a very wet environment, you probably don't want leather. Because you're going to, you know, right? Nylon's a much better choice. But if you live in Arizona, that's not a factor. So, and a lot of European places are wet a lot. You don't want to be, you know, inside all the time because you can't use your whip because it's kangaroo, and you don't want to mess
all up things being equal. Certainly, yeah.
So you got to take in all these different factors. So I kind of, you know, I love what Justin said on his thing, and then I've kind of added stuff with. So when I get contacted, you know, the first things I add, you know, what do you want to do with it? Where do you live? You know, what's the climate like? Just stuff like that, and then. Do you like? There you go.
He sent me a shirt.
Yeah, the man's fantastic. Yeah, he's great. So there's just a lot of factors, but those are the main ones. And that's something that I started asking people because I had a few conversations with a few people, and I thought that they really were leaning toward leather. And then they told me they lived in Florida in a place where it rains every single day.
Right.
And I was like, that's probably not a good option. I was like, well, why don't you think about nylon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So stuff like that. There's just a lot of factors involved. But I think the first thing I say is send me a video of somebody doing something with the whip that you want to do. And then and kind of go from there. And then you can talk about, how strong are you. A lot of, like my wife, she likes a 5-foot nylon whip when she cracks. She doesn't like leather at all. It's too heavy. And she likes the 5-foot length. Great. So, once I know that somebody knows kind of what they want, this is the guy you need to make that. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking of, sometimes as a whip maker that I'll see. So somebody sent me a video saying, this is really cool, but I like this also, and I need to do this. And it basically, I see why you're having a problem, because that's the 3 extremes that you could possibly have. Like they like some rhythmic cracking from some Australian championship that they saw, and they're using these beautiful 22-inch handle stock whips.
Right.
And then they've got some guy dressed up in black leather and a mask doing fire whips. Like, that's very different. and not that those are necessarily mutually exclusive people, but those are definitely different whips.
Yeah, that is so funny.
And and then like you said, the both of those are going to be very expensive whips. A fire whip or a Australian championship cracking whip, those are both going to be very, very expensive. And if you're wanting to get a whip for $100, neither one of those are going to be possible. Yeah. So then maybe you should just get a just some sort of paracord whip and just be done with it and get started on see what you like to do. Right. Because what you like, I like all the whips, of course. I have one of each of those kind of whips too. Right. But what is it you're wanting to start on doing? And if you're, like you said, if you're in a really wet environment, it wouldn't make sense to be out there with a really high plat count leather whip, because then you really couldn't, or the maintenance it would take to keep that up would be beyond what would be fun.
Right.
So it's a good question and I'd be interested to see from our people that are watching this, if they could let us know as well. Message me on Facebook or something. What is it is there something that you ask somebody that's wanting a whip made by you, or is there something that you always are looking for that you ask any whip maker to make? It'll be interesting to see if, what are those factors? So speaking of fire whips, I don't know if you and I have ever talked about that. Have you ever tried playing with a fire whip? I've
never tried one. No.
Set yourself on fire for fun, or?
I've never, at some point I probably will.
Seems like in your previous career that was more likely, but
it's, I really haven't had the desire yet, but tomorrow I might wake up and it's a new day.
Right.
I decide I want a fire whip.
I actually got a fire whip recently, and I haven't tried it out yet. I need to.
Oh man.
Need to do all the research. I've been reading about all the different safety things, and I got a Kevlar blanket so my wife can put me out if I need to.
Nice.
That kind of stuff.
Well, I can't wait to see this.
I can't burn my hair off. I got that going for me.
I definitely have to wear a hat. I don't want to be Michael Jackson and have my hair catch on fire. That'd be terrible.
Yeah. Don't need to do that. Whole different type of thriller. Sorry.
Yeah, at some point I'll probably do a fire whip, but I've never even tried one.
It'd be interesting for sure to see what you can do some targeting with it. Set Jar Jar Binks on fire.
I did think of that. That would be kind of cool to do some nighttime targeting with a fire whip.
Right. Here's an idea. What if you set up some sort of contraption to where with a normal whip, you cut it and it causes the flame to light something else on fire.
Right.
That might be interesting.
Right.
You whip the candle, set the table on fire.
I do have a thing for fire and blowing stuff up.
Right, you do.
It's a military guy. We like to blow stuff up.
That's what you're trained for. Oh my goodness. Whips are so much fun. And really you can, and I mean, this whole conversation really shows that, you know, depending on your personality and what you're interested in, you can go and make this be part of what you enjoy. Now, if you're that type that likes to do the targeting, or you want to do what is basically interpretive dance, I mean, all of these things can be covered while you're out playing with your whip. And, or you just want to go out and pretend to be Indiana Jones, or I guess Han Solo.
But, yeah. I've seen some people that do like dance stuff. They never actually crack the whip. They just flow with it. And like dance and this flow, and it's beautiful. I love that stuff. You know, they put music to it, and there's so many great things you can do with the whip. And here's another thing that I've told some people: whips are the great equalizer. You don't have to be super athletic. You don't have to be 7 feet tall. You don't have to be super strong. Anybody can crack a whip if you have the right whip and some training. Anybody can do it. And
absolutely.
I think that's really great. You don't have to be. I'm not the most super athletic person in the world, but I can do this because maybe some natural talent, but a lot of practice, and anybody can do that.
I think you're the one that invited me to a Facebook group. I think it's called Seated Whip Cracking.
I don't know. There's so many of them.
But it's there's several people on there that are in wheelchairs that are cracking the whip.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
And it's really impressive what people can do. And
yeah, it's fantastic
to see that. I mean, can include just everybody. It's really, really exciting to see that. Everything from Indiana Jones and Hollywood all the way down to just to fire whips and bringing it all together. It's such a fun thing to bring our community together and all talk about this. Wow. So what else has been going on?
Yeah. I love that more women are into it now.
It's not just Indy.
Because it's not got to be some kind of male dominated thing. There's a lot of really talented female whip crackers out there. And I love to see that. It's that great equalizer. You know, anybody with the passion to do it can go out and crack a whip. And I think it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it really, really is. One thing that always impresses me when you're doing a new video or a new combination is how creative it is, and that just different parts of your life seem to influence that. Like you said earlier, you just go to Hobby Lobby and something inspires that. And I think that the people watching can think about that. What is it that inspires you? And actually the Whip Cracking 101, the Virtual WhipCon video competition showed that to quite a degree, that so many different people involve whips in their life and make a video about it. And you can see them either out on the farm, or they're a video production major at college with the drones and things. It's so many different cool things. And what is it that you're interested in? You being the generic everyone watching, and how can you express yourself through a whip that way? I haven't quite figured out how to. I mean, my IT career, I guess, is kind of this podcast thing, but where it's interesting to see with all our different other hobbies and interests, we can all bring it together.
Yeah, and when it comes to making videos, and I've had people, message me and say, how can I make this, or what should I do in a video? I'm like, make the video you want to see.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Don't worry about what anybody else wants. Don't worry about what anyone else is going to think about it. Just whatever mood you happen to be in that day, and you want to go out and, you're the painter, you're the creator. Right. Go out and just make a video you've never seen anybody else do, and you want to see it. So go make it.
Right.
That's kind of my view on it. I go out and try to make stuff that I've never seen anybody else do, and just whatever I feel like doing that day that's fun. And Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I actually have a really fun blooper video that I'm going to put out soon.
I can't wait to see that. That'll be great.
Because some days things just go wrong.
And that's okay too. I mean, we
it
all
was so
learn
much
from
fun.
that.
Yeah. It was like, I wasn't even filming to make a video. I was filming just to, sometimes I'll just have a video going just to be sure my technique is on point and see kind of different camera angles that might work for a certain thing. And that's what I was doing this day. I was just out practicing and stuff just kept going wrong. And I just thought it was really funny. So I put a video around it. So that'll be coming out soon. That might be number 200.
That might be a good one.
Yeah.
Like, here's Keith targeting right on. Here's Keith targeting after a 12-pack. So,
yeah, so when you're dealing with outside things
Six-pack.
And moving targets, sometimes things just don't go right, you know. And sometimes it's pretty funny. So yeah, sometimes I'll throw one of the. I've done a few blooper reels, keep bloopers like the whole year, and then put out a blooper reel at the end of the year. I've done that a few times. This year I didn't do that because I was busy doing other stuff. But I just had this one day recently where things just kept messing up, and I just thought it was hilarious. So I made this video, and I hope everyone likes it. It'll probably be, I bet that'll be number 200 on my channel.
That would be a good one. Oh, you should do that. And I think we all should learn from that too. I mean, I know that when I try to learn a new crack specifically, it's going to be rough the first time. Maybe take that aspirin first. You're going to end up with some welts or something.
Wear a hat. Wear glasses.
Absolutely.
Anytime I try something new, I always screw it up, and I always hit myself. Always.
Absolutely. And I've got a bunch of videos that I did upload one of them a while back, and I was trying to learn the overhead reverse. Yeah, so it's crack behind you, or backwards overhead. Backwards overhead is what it's called. Which means it's in front of you, and you pull it toward your face to crack behind you.
Oh yeah.
And I was having a hard time with my arm at the wrong angle, so it would come across my face.
Right.
And I had all these red lines at the end of my practice session.
I call that a bullwhip beauty mark.
I was beautiful. I was stunning. I was supermodel by the end of that.
You're so pretty.
It was rough. And I had my glasses on and stuff, but finally I stopped practicing on that particular session when I got the cracker caught right in that corner.
Oh, I remember that day. Yeah, you messaged me. You're like, dude, I just did this thing. I'm like, we've all done it, man. We've all done it.
But we all learned from it, and I mean, I had the video to send you. It was nice. I had it running. So I guess everybody, it happens to the best of us, and just keep on trucking and push through it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when I was learning hassets, I would go out and I'd wear a hood and a hat and my glasses, and because I just kept hitting myself, Yeah. When I was first learning the four corners, it was rough, but just stay protected,
Exactly.
There's no shame in it. If you're not hitting yourself, you're not out there trying. So just do it.
That's right. Oh, well, I think that is a great point for us to leave our conversation for today. That if you're not covered in welts, you're not having fun.
That's right.
Is that the theme of the show? No, maybe not. But it has been a pleasure talking to you as always. I look forward to doing it again. Looking forward to having some more guests in the future as well. And, hoping for Indy 5 soon. Woohoo!
Oh, I can't wait.
Thank you again, Keith. And once again, your YouTube is Bullwhip Fun with Keith and Princess Stephanie.
That's it.
All right. Check him out. Subscribe. And thank you all for watching.
Bye-bye.